the greatest shot of a player's career?
Davis at the buzzer. No, yes, no!
Until here. The buzzer sounded, and even though the ball was clearly out of dude's hands in time, when he made it, the ref said it was no good. The refs ruined everything with one of the 8 worst calls in NBA history. But something even crazier is the time the refs made a call on something that didn't even happen. The Suns point guard Steve Nash and Blazers center Marcus Camby are the 2 key players to pay attention to in this clip. What started off as the Suns passing the ball into Nash turned into a whistle being blown about something nobody in the entire arena could explain.
Foul away from the ball. Roy, possibly. Yes, it's going to be on Roy, and that is his... No, it's on Camby. Equally as damaging for Portland. This has got to be on somebody else. Camby wasn't in the play.
Nash doesn't even think he should be shooting. He was out at half court.
It's on Camby. It is. That's his 4th foul. That is a 4th foul in the playoffs. Are you kidding me? You put a 90% free throw shooter on the line when he didn't have any business being near the free throw line. Holy cow.
Joey, you missed one there. I mean, really missed one.
Yeah, Nash was nowhere near anybody. Then somehow Marcus, a dude who was literally across the court, got called for a foul that got him benched and eventually led to his team losing. Whatever that ref was smoking to make a call that bad, tell him to give me that plug's number. He's gotta have some good stuff. But anyways, at least that time the refs only ruined a play. One of the worst calls in history ruined an NBA legend's birthday. December 30th, 2023 was Big Daddy's, LeBron James's B-Day. And during his matchup with the T-Wolves, he was going off all night long until everything came down to chaos.
No call, Connolly! Lakers, Davis, up ahead, LeBron in chase mode. LeBron on its way, got it! He's got it!
On the floor, 2-point field goal.
So close.
Standing on the floor stands, 2-point field goal.
Oh, there it is.
Trying to review it to see if he was behind the line. LeBron is telling him, look with my feet.
Yeah, you know things were the wrong call when LeBron's whining like a baby. Oh wait, he always does that. Anyways, this time LeBron ran to the monitor to show the refs they were wrong. And just taking a look, there was clearly space between his foot and the line, so even LeBron had to clown the refs a bit.
I mean, it's obvious a 3. My foot is behind the line. I mean, you can see the space between my front of my foot and the 3-point line. The wood on the floor is a space in between my front of my foot and the 3-point line. So, Stevie Wonder can see that, champ. Talked to the other ref, and they said it was out of their hands. The Secaucus over there in the replay center, somebody over there eating a ham sandwich, or somebody made the call.
But honestly, LeBron was right. The refs were blinder than Stevie, so even though it should have been a 3, they called it a 2 and lost him the game. No way LeBron was celebrating his birthday that night. And there's no way Jason Tatum was celebrating either when refs made a crazy call just because he didn't injure himself.
He's up a little bit. Tatum from Porzingis. That's going to be a technical on Tatum for hanging on the rim.
Yeah, Tatum was stunned. He couldn't believe the refs called a technical for that. But it's all because of a rule change the NBA recently made that says players are not allowed to pull themselves up on the rim, nor are they allowed to hang on the rim after a dunk attempt, unless they're doing so to avoid injury to themselves or another player. And honestly, if you ask me, that's what I thought he was doing. So did Tatum.
I mean, that's a rule that they just implemented that, quite frankly, I don't think make any sense. Because anybody that's ever played or dunked the ball, your momentum, just trying to make sure that, you're stable when you land and make sure nobody's underneath you. So I don't know, maybe they want me to just let go and fall on my back.
Okay, I think I get it now. So I guess next time, the refs just expect Tatum to do this.
Hey. Oh my goodness.
Man, that had to hurt. But Luka's pockets hurt even worse after the refs made such horrible calls. Not only did a team get free points, it got him fined $35,000. Yay, history that gave a team free points and cost Luka Doncic $35,000. It started when Luka and the Mavericks became a victim late in a close game with the Warriors. After this dunk, the Mavericks called a timeout and a ref clearly pointed in their direction, admitting it would be their ball after the break. But when the timeout was over and the Mavericks were waiting, a ref at the other end of the court gave the Warriors the ball instead.
Watch here. Dallas thinks it's their ball out of the timeout. The Warriors are inbounding under the Dallas basket. You saw Looney start to run the other way, and then he realizes, wait, we have a layup, but the Mavs were under the assumption it was their ball.
The refs really gave the Warriors their easiest shot of the night, basically free points, just because they forgot what call was even made. The Warriors had to be in their parlay or something, I don't even know. Now, obviously the Mavericks weren't happy, so even their coach was raging because he knew it was their ball. They just had to get over it though. The game continued, and in the end, nobody thought just 2 points would matter that much. Until later in the game with only a few seconds left, the Mavericks were down by a few points and this happened.
Lob inside to Doncic, underneath the basket, gotta put it up, he does, missed it!
How did the refs not call that? Luka literally had a WWE champion Draymond Green all over him. There was clearly contact, and what should have been a foul call wasn't called. Luka was so pissed that he started rubbing his fingers together at the ref like they were being paid off to make terrible calls, which, ironically, got him fined $35,000. The worst part of this all, though, the Mavericks lost by only 2 points, so either of the refs' bad calls not happening would have completely changed the outcome of the game. That's why Mavericks owner Mark Cuban whipped out his Twitter fingers to say, worst officiating non-call mistake possibly in the history of the NBA. And just because of the refs' bad calls, the Mavericks even filed to officially protest the entire game to have it replayed. Now, alright. Up to this point, refs only made bad calls to ruin a single game. There was a time refs made such an obviously bad call, it was proof they were trying to rig the NBA Finals. As soon as it was going to be Nuggets versus Heat in the Finals, everybody basically knew the series was over before it started, man. So it definitely wasn't a surprise that the Nuggets dominated until they eventually went up 3-1 in the series to be just a game away from the series being over. But during that next game, things got weird in the fourth quarter, where with around 3 minutes left, the refs did something that even had the commentators stunned.
Searching. Butler tries again. Butler won't go, but a foul. Oh, Butler kicking that right leg out.
That's going to be overturned.
I think so.
Upon review, instant replay has determined the call on the floor stands. And Jimmy Butler makes a natural move, and AG moves into his space. It's a foul. Good shot.
Wow. And I totally disagree. That right leg kicking out is not a natural move on that jump shot.
That's surprising. It's just wrong.
Yeah, everyone in the building knew the refs made the wrong call. If anything, just look at this. Jimmy literally kicked dude in his tip. It should have been a foul on him. The fans went crazy, saying, if they're gonna give Jimmy Butler free throw attempts for kicking Aaron Gordon in the nuts, then I quit. These refs, man, garbage sauce. And one even said, wow, that Butler kick to Gordon's privates ruled a foul is a super duper atrocious call. Now, as corny as all of them sounded, they were kinda right. It seemed like the refs were willing to make any calls, even if they didn't make sense, to try and help the Heat win so the series could go another game. Cause after all, those NBA Finals had record low viewership, horrible ratings, and an extra game to the series would have desperately made the league money they needed. In the end though, the Nuggets were still able to overcome the refs, the Heat, and won the championship that night anyways. Which we all knew would happen, but something I never thought would happen is the refs making a right call, then changing their mind to completely mess up a game. You don't see Steph Curry getting pissed at the refs often, but when he does, it's scary. This all happened because towards the end of a close game, the refs blew their whistle and actually made the right call for once.
Curry for the tie. Oh, Jimmy got a piece of the shot, but also a piece of Curry. So Steph will get 3 foul shots.
After that foul call, Steph stepped up to the line to shoot his free throws and potentially tied the game, until the Heat challenged the call and demanded the refs review the play. Now, on the replays, it clearly showed Jimmy Butler damn near high-fived Steph during his shot, so in other words, he fouled him, and that only took me a few seconds to realize. But it kinda took the refs forever to review this play, and it seemed like they saw something we didn't, cause once they came back, they reversed their call and instead just gave the Heat the ball.
The defensive foul has been overturned.
All Steph could do was sit there like, cause what should have made this game close now killed all the Warriors' momentum to make them eventually lose by 7. And what did Steph think about all this?
Any thoughts on the late overturned call?
It's an awful call. What you think I was supposed to say? I was walking to the free throw line thinking that I was gonna get 3 free throws and, have an even score with a minute, some change left. It's a tough one. I clearly felt a lot of contact. I don't know what they saw besides the high five contact they talked about, but you gotta be allowed to finish your motion. I felt like, especially when you slow it down in slow-mo, it's pretty clear. There's a lot of contact, but what do I know about calls?
Man, these refs have no shame ruining a game. But the worst thing I ever heard refs do was make such a bad call, it forced the Pistons to set one of the most embarrassing records in sports history. Now, don't get me wrong, the Pistons were already down bad because they were doing the unthinkable. Playing like such ass, they were on one of the worst losing streaks in sports history with 27 L's in a row. 27! And things weren't looking much better when their next game was going up against the best team in the league at the time, the Celtics. Nobody thought the Pistons even had a chance.
Should the Pistons be this bad?
No, they shouldn't. I mean, they're an NBA team losing 27 in a row. Well, make it 28 in a row because they're going to lose tomorrow night to the Boston Celtics. I have a better chance of having breakfast in the morning with Beyonce and Oprah than they do of beating the Celtics.
So after he said that, everyone tuned in to see how badly the Pistons would get smacked. To every fan's surprise, though, Pistons kept it close in the first half and actually started shocking the world when they went into halftime with a big lead. At this point, though, not only would the Pistons winning be crazy, I also knew Wingstop was giving away free wings if they pulled it off, so even I was tuned in trying to find out if I'd be eating dinner tonight. But anyways, even though the game went on and the Pistons kept their lead until the fourth quarter, both teams went back and forth until the final seconds when one of the worst calls ever happened.
Spinning. Spins. Oh, that is close. Yeah. Man, I think they'll give it to the Pistons.
Calls under review.
Oh, wow. That is so close. That is so close. All right, slow. Oh, here we go. This is the angle right here. Oh, that's it. Wait, that's glass. Show that again. No, I need that same angle. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, with the game on the line, scratch that. With the Pistons' entire reputations and one of the most embarrassing records of all time on the line, instead of this being a game-saving block, the refs called goaltending, which saved the Celtics from public humiliation and eventually led to them winning. So that one call gave the Pistons their record-setting 28th straight loss, the longest losing streak in not only the NBA, in sports history. But to be honest, it wasn't all the refs' fault that time. The Pistons are literally dog shit. And that wasn't even the worst time players got humiliated. From pulling opponents' shorts down, to humiliating an opponent so badly they got turned into a diamond chain, so players even got clowned on